Hey guys, Butch Hartman here. Thanks so much for tuning in. All right, the Easter season is upon us, and I thought it'd be a lot of fun to draw the Easter Bunny. So I'm going to do the Easter Bunny in 3 different styles: cartoon, comic book, and realistic. So sit back, relax, hang tight, and you'll learn step by step how to draw the Easter Bunny. First up, cartoon bunny. To do our first Easter bunny, I'm going to open up another layer here. Now, I need 2 layers because I'm going to sketch it in first with a pencil. If we draw them like in the Fairly OddParents style, we'll just start like maybe with a big circle. Everything starts with a basic shape. Now, the body, if it's Fairly OddParents, we always put a straight against a curve. The bottom of the body will be flat. If it's going to be Fairly OddParents, we'll do great big circles for the eyes. A little nose, which is sort of a little smoothed off triangle. You just keep adding circles for the eyes. You know, here's the big eyes in the center. There you go. I think you can see a character taking shape there, right? Again, guys, everything is a basic shape. Always practice your basic shapes because they always come in handy. Let me put a smile a little on the side over here like that. And again, the ears are sort of shapes too. It looks like a circle cut in half almost. And let's give him some Fairly OddParents eyebrows. I can draw his little back feet and draw his front feet too. The most important part of any bunny is the tail, the cotton tail. So that's our basic Easter bunny right there. Now, you know, it's a bunny, right, but it's not really an Easter bunny yet. So we have to sort of, let's see here. What I'll do is I'm going to drop the opacity of this layer. Drop the opacity, I make them a little more faded out. I fade them down a little bit. And now I'm going to go on my other layer here. So I'll start off by inking him. So I'm going to add a little bow tie on this guy because I want to Easter him up. He's in his little Easter outfit. And I will color him in. I think the Easter bunny should be yellow. What I can do is just go in and I can just take a big wide brush and just kind of go under him like this. I'll erase all this stuff and tighten it up. And the way I evolved into this style, you know, when you work as an animator or a cartoonist in different studios, you have to sort of adapt to whatever style of the show it is you're working on. I had worked for a bunch of other people before. I worked on the Johnny Bravo show, I worked on Cow and Chicken, I worked on Dexter's Lab. You really had to know how to draw those styles. So I was sort of a mishmash of a bunch of styles, and then when I got to Fairly OddParents, when I designed the show, I decided to draw like I've never drawn before, and it's in a style I'd never drawn before. So I just kind of came up with this style of my own. I wanted to make like a language for the show. So whenever anybody drew a character of any kind, whether you're drawing Timmy, Cosmo, Wanda, Vicky, Chip, Skylark, whoever, you're always going to start with the same shapes and the same facial shapes and the same mouth shapes, things like that. And eventually, as the show went on, we got to evolve it. I kind of came up with my own language, my own style. So that's sort of it. You'll come up with your own style too when you keep drawing and doing things on your own. You'll develop your own look. You're going to start off by emulating other people, which is what you should do. That's how we learn. But then eventually you need to adapt it into your own style. Now we got to give this guy a pink nose because he is an Easter bunny. And I think his tie will match his nose. Oh, and his tail has to be white. I insist on a white tail for the bunny. Now we'll do a background. You know, when you get an Easter basket, there's a little grass in there. You do like an Easter basket green behind him, and I'm going to put a little sky behind him too, and that's going to be, of course, the bluest of skies. And if I want to put a little cloud in there, you can stylize it really kind of cool. Oh, let's put a shadow under him. No, you don't want to put a shadow that's black. Half the time your shadow isn't even black. It's normally like kind of a faded gray, or even it kind of matches the color of whatever surface you're on. So let's grab the green color. Make it a little bit darker. Now I will sign this drawing. So there is a cartoony Easter bunny. Okay, that bunny was more in the Fairly OddParents style, but I've got a brand new show out now called Bunsen is a Beast. So here's a bunny drawn in the style of Bunsen is a Beast. And now Bunsen is a Beast has a much softer look than Fairly OddParents does. Since Bunsen is square shaped, I think I'll make the Easter bunny square shaped. So we'll do like a Bunsen is a Beast. I guess we'll call him a Beaster bunny. And we'll give him some big feet. So he's part beast, part bunny. And then you can see sort of his eyes there. You see a lot of similarities in Bunsen is a Beast character's eyes and Fairly OddParents eyes, but that's where they kind of stop. No hard edges here at all, you can see. This is going to be a Beaster bunny, part beast, part bunny. So having the ears on one side creates a sense of motion. Making his teeth uneven, that's a real Bunsen trait. Put only 3 fingers on him and a thumb. There's his little cottontail. Now I'll put another layer on top, and I'll drop the opacity of this layer, and I'll do a black ink line. I have a lot more leeway with inking on this character because the lines are a lot softer. I can do various thicknesses of lines. Fairly OddParents was a very strict line thickness, a real specific line weight. Everything was really thick. With Bunsen, we can vary the line thicknesses a lot more. Also, sometimes you want to vary the size of things to give them more of a cartoony look, like his eyes. I'll make one a little bigger than the other. Gives him kind of a crazy look. Bow tie, again, it's just like 2 triangles facing each other, and you see little wrinkles in them like that. And he's got kind of a cottony tail, but it's not perfectly round. It's going to be a little more jagged edge and a little more of a silly looking tail. Now we'll color him, and you know, since he's Bunsen is a Beast, but I don't want to color him blue like Bunsen because people think it's Bunsen as a rabbit. We will color this guy. We'll color him pink like an Easter bunny. I guess if I could say one thing, I would say Fairly OddParents is the neat and tidy show, and then Bunsen's sort of a little more of a casual show. You know, Fairly Odd Parents looks like you took a shower, combed your hair. Bunsen is a Beast is like you just got out of bed. Okay, let's draw a background on this guy. Again, I love the Easter green. And let's do another layer. We'll put a sky back there. Okay, let's color in his eyes. Color in his tail. Happy Easter from Bunsen is a Beast and the Beaster Bunny. All right, that was the Bunsen is a Beast Easter Bunny, the Beaster Bunny. Now it's time to do a bunny in the style of DC and Marvel, kind of a comic book Easter Bunny. Check it out. Comic book characters, they're way different than obviously cartoon characters like Fairly Odd Parents or Bunsen is a Beast. You got to draw semi-realistic. You know, you're dealing with real anatomy, you know, human proportions, things like that. So again, I'm going to start on my first layer. I'm going to do an underlayer here, smaller head like this, but we'll give him obviously my favorite type of superhero eyes are the white eyes, like Deadpool or like Wolverine. And of course, if you're going to make him yelling, he's going to have his big rabbit teeth showing there. And his ears, again, we're dealing with a non-realistic character, but he's a little more real than the other characters. So, you know, we'll give him like wrinkles on his lips. Gotta give him a tongue in here. So, okay, there's the rabbit's head. And I will give him some great big muscles here. Like this is his forearm coming into the camera. I'm going to foreshorten his body here a little bit. When we're dealing with superheroes and comic book characters, you want to give them like big broad chests, really little narrow waists. Now you have to know anatomy to be able to draw like this. I've drawn realistic people for quite some time and I know anatomy really well. So I really have a control over where I can put muscles and things, but you guys need to practice that. If it's something you're not good at yet, you'll get good at it. You just got to practice it, believe me. You know, his fist, obviously, we're going to give him like real human proportions here. You got to have the superhero underwear, the Superman underwear. You just have to give him that. Gosh knows where that came from. He's going to have some big feet too because he's a rabbit still. And of course, we got to give him a little, you know, cottontail back here. And I think cape. I think we'll give him a cape. We'll give him a cape. Why not? Now, of course, fabric. If you guys don't know how to draw capes, learn how to draw fabric. Because capes, how they wave and how they move and things like that. And now, of course, I've got to draw something at the end of his wrist. He's got to have a hand. And then I'll give him 5 fingers like a human being, so there's his 5 fingers there. And of course, the reason I left all this open space over here is because I'm going to have him throwing an Easter egg grenade. Now I will drop the opacity of that layer once again. And I will go to inking this guy. That looks like a more formidable Easter egg grenade, and the shading really makes it look more like a comic book. I do a lot, when I do the Crimson Chin and Crash Nebula, when I used to draw Crash Nebula, I would always do a lot of this type of inking to make it look a lot more like a comic book. It really draws your eye. The blacks really draw your eye to a certain area. It's got to be balanced too. I can't put a ton of black in one area and not balance it with blacks everywhere else, because if you do, your black area will get the most eye attention. I learned how to ink by reading a lot of Jack Kirby comic books, because Jack Kirby used to ink a lot of his own stuff. I'm going to start off in the background with him. I'm going to give him a background first. I'm doing the orange because it's kind of like fire, like it's actiony, like something's blowing up behind him in a way. We color his eyes first, the white eyes. Again, I like the Deadpool eyes. So I guess we'll call this guy Buff Bunny? Bomb Bunny? Bomber Bunny? What do you guys think I should call this guy? Well, I'm coloring his face, coloring his tail, coloring the fuse. And now let's give him maybe some white ears too. You want to make all your reflections and your shadows follow the contours of all the lines. I'm going to give him a red cape like Superman, because come on, you're going to do a cape. Might as well do a Superman cape, right? I can change the color of the cape if I want. Let's look at the cape here. And let's see what color. I can make it purple, I can make it pink, I can make it green. Maybe we'll keep it maybe more of a pinky. And I can make it lighter. Now we're on a pink roll. Here we go. Okay, so he's good. We'll give him a yellow belt. Keep in mind, guys, every time you draw anything, you're just working on a flat piece of paper or a flat surface. It's your job as an artist to make it pop off the page. If you get really good at shading, it really adds a lot more weight to your pictures. You notice I didn't shade the other two bunnies. Those are more cartoony. And here we have, for Easter, Buff Bunny. Okay, I've just drawn 2 cartoon bunnies and 1 comic book bunny. But you know what? In order to be able to draw a bunny in the first place, you gotta know how to draw a real bunny. So here you go. Here is a realistic drawing of a bunny. All right, now next up is a realistic bunny, and I'm just gonna take my best shot here. I'm so used to drawing cartoons all the time. You'll see the rabbit starting to come into shape here, our bunny here. You'll notice that I'm being a little more careful. I find when you draw realistic things, just to draw what's there, a lot of times you want to fill in the gaps with your own. Like, oh, I think this would look something like this, and sometimes it'll look wrong. The best thing to do is just draw what's there. They're mostly fuzz. It's funny, there's a lot of fuzz going on. Again, knowing realistic anatomy, knowing animal anatomy. You know, you want to be an artist, everyone says, gosh, I gotta do all that work and learn all that anatomy. Yeah, the answer is yes. if you want to be an artist. I mean, there's all kinds of art you can do. You probably won't even want to be someone who draws realistic things ever, but it's going to help you immensely in life as an artist to know how to draw realistic creatures and people. You're just going to have to learn how to do it eventually, so no time like the present. And don't be afraid of it. Like I said, you can learn it. If it's something you're passionate about, you'll want to learn this. It really takes practice, big time. And I used to go to the zoo a lot too. I used to go to the zoo all the time. And I would stand there with a sketch pad and draw. And that's what it takes sometimes, just standing there, drawing the animals and learning how they work. So there's my realistic bunny. 2 cartoon bunnies, 1 comic book bunny, a realistic bunny. What's left? A NOOG Network bunny. For all you people who've stayed to the end of this video, first of all, thank you. Secondly, as a token of my thanks, I'm drawing an extra bonus Easter bunny for you. It is the Easter NOOG. Easter bunny that could fit into the NOOG Network. It's my app on the App Store. Go check it out. It is my own network where I create all original cartoons, games, and shows. I hope you guys enjoy it. Go check it out. All right, NOOG Easter Bunny, capping it off. Happy Easter, everybody. Hey, speaking of NOOGs, go on the App Store and download the NOOG stickers for your iPhone. You can send a little NOOG along with all of your texts to all of your pals. All right, this week on the big whiteboard, I'm going to draw Bunsen from Bunsen is a Beast because I've been getting a lot of suggestions for it. So here we go. Check it out. Hey Heart fans, subscribe here to keep up with me, Danny, Timmy, Dudley, Bunsen, and the NOOG Network. My new app full of cartoons, shows, and games. Download it here. Click over here to watch my most recent video, and here to start a playlist related to this video. Whoa, check out that awesome fan art. To be featured here, use hashtag HeartFanArt and tag me. I'm on every social media platform known to man. Cartoon Butch out. Pencil drop.